Whispers in the woods. The small town of Waverly, nestled on the outskirts of a vast forest, was no stranger to tales and legends. Among the stories told around campfires and whispered among schoolmates, one loomed larger than the rest: the lore of the Night Stalker, a cryptid said to roam the woods under the cloak of darkness. The creature was believed to be a shadowy figure with elongated limbs and eyes like burning coals, lurking where the tree line met the underbrush. No one knew for sure if it was real, but the stories scared the kids enough to keep them from venturing too far beyond the town's borders, especially at night. 16-year-old Jenna was not one to shy away from the unknown. She had a passion for the supernatural, eagerly devouring cryptid documentaries and local lore books, her fascination driving her to seek truths that others only dared to whisper about. But this time, a mix of courage and teenage rebellion led her to a decision that would haunt her. One brisk autumn evening, Jenna rallied her friends, Ricky, Sam, and Ella, promising them an adventure that would test their bravery. They would hike into the heart of the woods to uncover the truth behind the Night Stalker. Armed with flashlights, snacks, and a camera, they made their way down the narrow trail, laughter echoing in the silence of the forest. "Just imagine if we actually saw it," Ricky joked, feigning fear as he scanned the trees around them. "I can already picture it, tall, lanky, with those glowing eyes." "Stop it," Ella giggled, tightening her grip on Sam's arm. "What if we really do stumble upon something?" As night engulfed the woods, the shadows thickened, wrapping around the trees like a velvet shroud. The group found a clearing where they set up camp, eager to share ghost stories as the wind rustled through the leaves. Time passed, and Jenna's excitement fueled her determination. She suggested they venture deeper into the woods to look for signs of the Night Stalker. Reluctantly, the others agreed, and they crept away from the warmth of their campfire, their nerves electrified. With the moon hanging high, casting eerie shadows on the forest floor, Jenna led them down a winding path. The air grew colder, and an unsettling silence enveloped them, the usual sounds of the forest swallowed whole. Ella shivered, glancing back frequently as if expecting something to emerge from the dark. "Did you hear that?" Sam whispered suddenly, halting in his tracks. The remains of his bravado waned, leaving him pale in the moonlight. Jenna waved it off. "It's just your imagination. Keep moving." But even she felt a ripple of unease shoot down her spine. As they made their way deeper, an unsettling sound broke the stillness, a low, guttural growl that resonated through the trees. Everyone froze, blood running cold in their veins. "That was definitely not a deer," Ricky stammered, eyes wide. An instinctual fear gripped Jenna, but her curiosity overshadowed it as she pressed forward into the darkness, urging her friends to follow. The growl echoed again, closer this time, and within moments, they spotted movement at the corner of their flashlights. A tall shadow flicked between the trees, barely perceptible but undeniably there. In a moment of reckless bravado, Jenna called out, "Show yourself." But her voice echoed back at her, mocking her challenge. They turned to run, but in the chaotic scramble, the flashlight beams bounced erratically, revealing snippets of the creature that had stirred their fears. A figure, impossibly tall, emerged from the murky shadows. Its skin appeared matted and dark like the bark of a tree, but its eyes glowed fiercely, illuminating the forest around it. "Run!" Sam screamed, his voice cracking as they all dashed back the way they came, the creature's growl echoing behind them, reverberating through the trees like a storm. Twisting branches and gnarled roots clawed at their legs, threatening to bring them to the forest floor. They burst into the clearing where their campfire still flickered, but it felt far more vulnerable now under the starlit sky. They collapsed, panting, the shadows seeming to dance tauntingly just beyond the light. "What the hell was that?" Ricky gasped. "I don't know," Jenna whispered, her heart racing, "but I think it was real. The Night Stalker is real." The fire crackled, and just as they began to catch their breath, a sudden chill swept through the clearing. Jenna felt the presence again, the weight of eyes watching them, dark and unyielding. Ella trembled, pointing past them. "Look!" The creature stood at the edge of the trees, half hidden, its glowing eyes fixed on the group, one long, twisted limb reaching out as if beckoning them closer. Panic surged anew, instincts screaming to flee. They abandoned everything, leaving the faint light of the campfire behind as they sprinted through the trees, tears mingling with the terror in their hearts. They didn't stop running until they reached the edge of Waverly, gasping for breath. Somehow, they made it back, untouched but changed forever. Jenna vowed never to speak of what they had seen. The thrill of the unknown had been overshadowed by a truth too daunting to comprehend. The Night Stalker lurked still, waiting patiently in the woods, whispering, willing to draw others into its realm of shadows. The secrets of the forest were not meant to be unearthed, and as Jenna stared back at the encroaching trees, she couldn't shake the feeling that it was only a matter of time before someone else would answer the call.